Joshua David Crouch was born June 3, 1982 in Largo, Florida. Josh was the first of 3 children born to Jimmy Ratcliffe Crouch and Patty Crouch. The family moved to Chapel Hill, North Carolina in early 1987. They lived in an old farmhouse there for a year before moving to Wilmington in August of 1989. In 1990, Josh's father Jimmy appeared as an extra in the movie The Lost Capone. When the picture aired on television, Josh and his brother watched their dad on the TV at home. This inspired Josh to look for work in films as well. In 1991, Joshua was chosen out of hundreds of other children to be cast in a National McDonald's commercial entitled Backyard Fun. Subsequently, several other acting positions opened up for Josh, including 2 commercials with Andy Griffith and a made-for-television movie with him called Gramps. Josh also appeared on the locally filmed Dawson's Creek. At the age of 14, Josh fell in love with music. He formed a band with his friends Alex and Adam and developed quite a good following by participating in several performances at local band competitions. In 2000, Josh graduated from New Hanover High School and was accepted into the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in Manhattan. At the Academy, Josh befriended fellow actor-musician Morgan Lamar, aka Concept. Josh took on the moniker Leftist, which reflected his grounded political awareness, liberal philosophy, and left-handed guitar style. After leaving the Academy, Leftist and Concept started an open mic at Via della Pace in Lower Manhattan. The scene grew and they relocated the open mic to Brooklyn's Stinger Club, where they remained for the next 2 years. The open mic at the Stinger Club was the birthplace for the Mindspray crew. Mindspray has been steadily building a scene in this wave of NY hip-hop. Leftist was integral in getting it all started.
Leftist, what's going on?
Introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, the crowd and the audience calls me Leftist. My mother named me Josh. I've been playing guitar since I was 12. I taught myself drums. I bought a $20 drum kit from my neighbor down the street. I was really into rock and I was this rock kid and really heavy music. Now I've been listening to hip hop for over 3 years. I kind of apply what I learned through playing guitar and stuff and drums to the hip hop because I'm not gonna try to be something that I'm not influenced by. You know what I mean?
Open the pages and send your face. Not let it today and open up your mind. You gotta find the one who lives before a fight. The one who doesn't wrong from right. We gotta sacrifice the criticism. Cause we heard this of listening to talk of power. Knowledge is power. Use it for what you choose. Your destiny and even your point of view. From being captive, sustain the creativity by reading. You will be enlightened by the truth for the rest of your days. But until then, y'all, whoa, that takes you a little effort to measure your mental exercise your brain. Exercise your brain. All it takes is a little effort to measure your mental stress. Exercise your brain. Exercise your brain. Practice what works.
Hey, what's up? My name's Morgan Lamar, one of Josh's very close friends here in New York. Went to theater school together.
Go to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
We didn't really know each other that well there.
I found out who he was. He was dating my ex-girlfriend, so I kind of figured out who he was pretty quick.
And I would always see him around in the library, and because he was in the afternoon, I was in the morning.
And what is his name?
His name's Concept. An acronym for
A, creative on point, noble concentration, etc.
exceptional concentrated tradition. It's pretty lofty. The story goes, I moved to Queens.
It wasn't until after that year, when he moved up to Astoria, Queens, after I graduated school, that we became really close. We had a group of the same friends that we were friends with in Queens, and we just ended up hanging out a lot, and he knew what I was into. He knew I was making songs, and
one thing led to another. We started talking, and we started freestyling.
Like that, and he really wanted to get down.
So this concept pretty much got me into freestyling and writing.
I told him he looked like MCA from the Beastie Boys, and and he really liked the Beastie Boys too, and we became really good friends after that. I got this venue called Via della Pace that was down at 2nd Avenue and 7th Street.
It started in February of 2002 on the Lower East Side, Via della Pace.
I could have started it all on my own.
Getting our own spot, his own open mic, to bring in our own people, kind of create our own network and web with who we were working with the rest of the open mics that we were going to. So
we got this open mic together at Via del Apache, and it went off really well. We did it there for about 6 months.
we actually were in the basement. And I remember whenever we'd have it was once a month, there'd be some jazz band upstairs. You have to go down this little stairs to like half, small space. So like no stage, you know what I mean? We went there like 2 hours early, like set up everything and like, moved everything out. And it just got packed. It was great. People loved it.
What are you seeing? See in the eyes. I want to see without a surprise. In the mind of your fall. The easy will soon rise. And the hip times I feel it with my rhymes. I speak to the vein and my strain. Like I said, I got more than just games. I got one hockey player catch up. I'll bring it back without a dispatcher. What you got? I'll be the legend. Rock. I live life. Live life. In the third eye.
And from there, the club wasn't really feeling it anymore because they were more of a restaurant. They were an Italian restaurant. So Left and I moved from Astoria, Queens down to Bushwick.
We ended up getting we got Stinger Club, which is a club on Grand Street.
I'm spitting on fiction when I just be never written, cause I always gotta pick up my microphone. Freestyle strictly straight from the top of the tower. My home at the Stinger Club. Showing love for the MCs that come through every week.
I checked out the host, and the host was casting left in concept. Crazy dudes that would run around all over the stage, screaming, yo, non-stop it, hip hopping. And they control the set.
Right there for your mind one time. What? Right there for your mind one time. Left this concept and we here to represent. I'm a mortar, I never came in. I like the wrong order, cause I came in more than a slaughter. Like a house for dead meat. That's what you'll soon see me. Hanging out with Chomsky, my man. We chilling out all day on this. Reaper never spoken, always on the block. Thank you very much. We like to take shots. Things, call me what you will, call me what you may. Okay. I take flicks and I take flicks and bumble every day. Non-stop it, head bopping.
I hadn't really seen like live hip hop before. I didn't really know much about it or whatever. And I get there and there's like, Left and Con on stage and like Concepts looking like Beastie Boy'd out, and like Left had this fedora and this like big leather jacket they used to wear all the time. This like biker jacket. He was just like crazy, just like wilding out on stage.
We held a weekly open mic where a lot of the crew and the fan base that we know kind of came to.
I first met Left at Stinger Club when he and Concept were just getting that rolling, and I had a project going on over in the West Village, and they had their project in Brooklyn, and so basically things just sort of built from there.
From there, that's where Left and I really got our crew going. Mind Spray. That's where we finally made it official.
I don't know, Mindspray is just kind of like, the way Concept and I look at hip hop is seemingly different from what we see on TV, and like, in the beginning, a lot of the people that we were coming up with.
Now we've got this group with 8 MCs, including myself, and 2 DJs. And
over time, UFAM came, Euphemism, Rogue MC came through, Lil Money, Crazy E, he's been in the first Mindspray. We had
Crazy E! Yo, Crazy E's on some like next shit. Yeah, crazy.
I met Josh at the first Mindspray they ever had. So eventually I must have performed about 4 or 5 times, and I liked how he was running the show. I believed in their whole movement, that there should be millions of open mics out there, you know, that have hip-hop and give opportunities to rappers and so on.
Basically, it was just, we all kind of were on the same path, the same vision of what we wanted to get across point-wise with the music. So we just basically started rocking out together.
Non-stopping, hip-hopping, hip-hopping, Monterey rockin', Monterey rockin', non-stopping, hip-hopping, hip-hopping, Monterey rockin', Monterey rockin'. We can be the words whatever you like to treat the little person we like to do it while it never you're Italian or Persian. We like to do it, no, I'm just a hurting inside us. Feel the heart interest, passionate around. We like to have a little flow, we like to do it all night, and then we like to go wrong without the money. This shit ain't funny, but milk, we gotta take it, yo, he's with the second, so let's go.
Here for Josh Crouch, who was hit in the West Side Highway, West 12th area on September 18th, 2006. There's a hit and run. You know, his family has no closure on this. All they have is frustration. His dad kept coming up for months, going back and forth from North Carolina to New York here, and he just got caught up in a lot of red tape, and all he was looking for was to know the exact location of what happened to his son. You know, it was very tragic, and you know, we did not know who ran Josh over, and we just want to make sure that this doesn't happen again to anybody else.
My next door neighbor coming over and telling me she's sorry to hear the news, and I said, what news? And she said, you don't know? And I said, no. She said, one of the boys got hit by a car. And I said, no. I said, Eric's fine, he's in school, and Josh is in the city. I said, he's fine. So she said, no, I heard it was Josh and that he got killed. And about 2 hours later, it's just, I'm at a blank, because the reality was coming in fact, and it was just such a nightmare.
Morgan called me. He said that Josh had been in an accident. I was like immediately like ready to go. I was like, okay, you know what happened? Morgan said, you know, he's gone.
And I couldn't believe it when I found out. Ben called me and was crying, and he said Josh died. That's the first thing I said. I just like my heart stopped and my blood went cold. And I was like, what?
I called one of my good friends who's up here in New York, who also is from Wilmington. Her family actually lives not too far. The Sinus live not too far from the Crouches, and to see if she had a phone number for them or her parents had a phone number for them. I called my parents because my dad works with his mom at the hospital to see if he had a phone number for them so that we could get a phone number to the police to get in contact with his parents. And we had trouble finding a phone number, but I think we got a phone number around the middle of the night, around midnight or a little after.
And we were sitting there on the couch for like hours. Like, we didn't want to call his parents in the middle of the night and tell them that what had happened.
And so she had heard from different kids about Josh. So this is how I got the news on September the 19th at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow,
my next door neighbor Mary came over and told me.
Wow, that's a lot.
And then I picked the phone up, and I called Josh's cell phone, and you know, he answered, his answering machine answered the cell phone, and I was like,
You felt better?
well, it was the answer, and his box was full.
Oh, I got you.
It says the voicemail box is full, and because so many people had tried to call to say, hey Josh, what's going on? People think you got hit by a car. But it was full. So then I called my wife at work. She's a school nurse at elementary school.
She didn't know it either?
She didn't, nobody knew it.
Wow.
The family didn't know it.
Wow.
This was 30 hours later.
Wow.
I know there's been a lot of different questions, and there's been a lot of different things said about, you know, some people think something crazy happened, and there's like a whole conspiracy theory behind it, and you know, there are so many different things that could have happened. Personally, you know, I just go with the easiest concept to grasp, which is it was a hit and run accident, you know. But honestly, I don't care if it was the biggest truck in the world or the smallest car in the world. I think that someone accidentally hit him, and I think that it was their fault running through a red light. And I think that they know they hit him, and I think they kept going.
The way I speculate is that he'd walk down 12th Street, and he crossed here, and then he went there, and so he came out of the walkway there.
Where? Right here?
Right here.
Yeah, so
And
he
they
was right up
found
the
him-
block.
They found him 1, 2, 3.
Right here, 1, 2, 3, right
Yeah,
here.
uh-huh.
On the side there or what?
In the road. The hardest thing is just trying to retrace his steps. And retrace his steps being drunk.
Are you mad at people in the bar for letting him walk away like that?
I'm a little upset that nobody saw him leave, yes.
Okay.
I don't believe he left the bar alone. And I always have felt like that since the beginning, that he didn't leave there alone.
We knew Josh was definitely partying that night, and you know, we definitely know that when he got killed, you know, he was definitely intoxicated.
His fault. If it didn't happen, maybe it didn't happen yesterday. Could have happened another day or something, you know, with him drinking like that.
Right.
Maybe,
Yeah, because
maybe
he
does
was
drink
drinking
too
a lot.
much.
I mean, it runs in the family. So I,
Yeah.
I tried to tell him that not to drink, but you know, he's 24 years old. I mean, he's going to be out drinking. He's in a band.
You know, also the police were, you know, were about, you know, 3 weeks too late to get on the case. You know, they started jumping on the case once they found out that there were so many people that cared about him and that loved him, and that his family came all the way up from North Carolina just to try to figure out what happened to him. And, you know, these are things that they should have been working on the next day, that night, you know, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a police officer. I don't really know how it all works, but I definitely feel that, you know, they didn't get on the ball until we were up here asking the questions that they should have been asking that night.
And I was putting blame on a lot of people. The cops, mostly.
Yeah, well, that's a common thing. That's why
You know?
cops got to be aware of that.
But there's so many people here that he's not the only case they have, and since this has happened, there's been 3 other hit and runs down there anyhow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to concentrate on finding this truck, finding this driver, if that's in fact what happened.
This track is dedicated to the memory of Josh Crouch, aka Leftist, June 3rd, 1982 to September 18th, 2006. He was tragically killed in a hit-and-run car accident. I miss you, homie. I love you. Yo, me and Josh, we were like brothers, many years living together. My left-hand man, best understand, partners in business. Let me get deep with this, for real, y'all. Above all, we were best friends, blessed to know such an amazing person. American Academy of Dramatic Arts, where it all starts. Both moved to NYC to achieve our dreams. In theater school, we were cool. though not a team, until we both lived up in Queens, chilling in Astoria Park. A minute since we talked, told Josh he looked a lot like Ad Rock. He liked the Beastie Boys and lots of punk rock. I got Josh into underground hip-hop at the spots, Mon spraying Sin Sin. End of the week, guerrilla words, Rocky presents, we'd spit, skills got nice, ripped open mics, got into the game, now got a rhyme name. Joshua became Deja, puffing the live, freestyling at my crib, that's all we did. An ill MC, who'd have thought so talented and gifted? Pseudonym wasn't feeling it, switched it to leftist. His deal kid, he's left-handed, and cause it's politics, peaceful pacifist, activist, all around artist, actor plus musician. Me and Left destined for a mission. My rap's reminiscent, everything about him I keep on missing. If you love leftists, then please have a listen.
Life is life is life is water, so sip it.
For my homie leftist, for my homie leftist, forever and ever I feel your presence. For my homie leftist, for my homie leftist, forever and ever I feel your presence. I owe it all to Left, for him I have the highest respect. I will never forget nor neglect what you've done for me. My only therapy, rapping. You scored us a loft on McKibben. I keep on loving my girl Elaine. You hooked us up so we shared the pain. Rest in peace, knowing our love remains. Left his concept first to in Montspray. Started it in the basement of Via della Pace. Much respect to the DJs, hand spinning quasar. Haters make it hard. Left his style, avant-garde. Create to make our own breaks for show. You know, striving for our goals. Showed mad love from Rough Seas, Black Pearl, 5FM, polyethnic at the Stinger Club. Dopest open mic venue. It birthed Montspray crew. We still going strong to this day, dude. Leftist is a Jedi, he ain't with the dark side. Praises to the Most High for letting Left bless hardcore, hard copy discography. Swung sword sharply, what's inside EP? NYU, remembering sessions, recording intervention. Big ups to euphemism on the production. It came together ill, told peeps that you gotta build. Thank God we got it done. First release, shot in the dark, volume 1. Left ripped it, flipped it, Hood's most wanted. In the first T and me, shout out Fred once, having fun, living young in NYC. No doubt.
Life is water, so sip it.
For my homie leftist, for my homie leftist, forever and ever I feel your presence. For my homie leftist, for my homie leftist, forever and ever I feel your presence.
Those on the left.
And from the left.
On the left.
Leftist.
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 Those on the left.
And from the left.
On the left.
Leftist.
Leftist.
Leftist. Remembering Left, I listen to your flow when I feel the wind blow. Light a candle, say a blessing for your soul. I know I've gained a guardian angel, no doubt. I'll do whatever I can to help out. Jimmy, Patty, Eric, and Kristen Crouch. My positivity and love and energy extends to your family. See you on the other side or next lifetime.
Life is water, so sip it.
For my homie leftist, for my homie leftist, forever and ever I feel your presence. For my homie leftist, for my homie leftist, forever and ever I feel your presence.
He went to the first grade here to the 5th grade. Pretty shy as a little kid. Played baseball, played soccer. We moved here in 1987. And then he started school here that following summer. That room straight through was the 5th grade room Josh was in. The last classroom he was in school. Doors are closed now so you can't see, but this was his last section here in the 5th grade. Been 2 months now, so everybody's kind of getting back in the groove of what they're doing.
liked anybody moping around, especially moping around for him and feeling bad. But he would want us all to keep and pursue things that we wanted to do. I hear him in my head all day, and he's in my heart, so I'll still always have 3 kids, and he'll always be the oldest. This is the middle school where Josh met Alex and Adam. In the 6th grade, I think Adam tells the story of the pants. Or Alex tells the story of how Josh said he wanted his pants.
I think it was the 6th grade. He'd just come out of elementary school. This scrangly kid, weirdo kid with this big smile walks up. He's like, "Hey, man." He says, I look at him, he's like, "Can I have your shorts?" he asked me. That's how I met Josh. He said, "Can I have your shorts?" And I was stunned. I was like, who the hell is this guy? Even at that age, can I have your shorts? But he was so nice and so innocent. And sat down. He got my number. He was at that time. He had what made him Josh.
I never heard that story. So this is where they started out, is where Adam and Alex and Josh really kind of found each other and got guitars and learned how to play upstairs at our house. They all met here in the 6th grade.
So middle school, we were just hung out all the time, very intimate, got to know each other. On Christmas, we all got guitars. I got a bass guitar, Josh got a guitar, and Adam got a guitar, and then we would hole up in the Crouch's house and just play and play and play for hours and learn. And there was this time of passion, this time of real passion, and Josh was at the forefront. He was always the guy making connections, getting to know people, even at that age. Pushing us onward. He was the leader. He was the social body. He was the personality. Adam and I were more of the creative bronze of our band, and Josh was the man out front.
I met him a long time ago at Noble Middle School in Wilmington. When I was in middle school in eighth grade, there was this big 8th grade dance, and we had done some theater together and things like that, and we went to the same school, and 8th grade dance was kind of like the prom, like middle school prom, and he asked me to go with him, and I had already asked one of I was like, there's no way anyone's going to ask me, so I'm going to ask a girlfriend to go with me from another school, and we can go and we'll have a good time. So he asked me. I was like, oh my God, someone actually asked me, but I can't go because I invited someone else. So I had to tell him no. I was like, I'm really sorry, but I can't go. And I had a friend and everything like that. And for years after that, until the end of time, he would never ever let me forget that I had denied him at the 8th grade dance. And it was really funny and ironic because my senior year of high school, I was dating a guy who dumped me the week before prom. And I was really upset, and I told Elaine, and Elaine told Josh, and Josh called, and I heard about what happened about the prom, and I was like, Josh, not now. Give me a week. You can make fun of me in a week, but not now. He's like, no. I just want to let you know that if you still needed a date or wanted to go, that I'd be honored to go with you. And it was so sweet. It was so heartfelt, and retribution for the 8th grade dance. So it all worked out 5 years later, and we went to my senior prom together.
Josh started here in the theater when he was like 10 years old. He did performances here with the local theater group he was doing. All the kids really got started here doing theater work. We produced some shows here for the band competitions when the kids were in high school. You had to be in high school, and if you had a band, then you could play here, and it was great. So this is Josh's first high school. He was here at 9th and 10th grade. He went here to Laney, and after the 9th grade, he asked to move because the gangs were so frequent here.
I met Josh in Wilmington, 9th or 10th grade. I think it was 10th grade. He was one of those people that kind of knew a lot of people, and so almost everybody knew somebody who knew him. You know, me and Josh actually, after we first met, we dated for like a month and a half, 2 months, something like that, just going out on the weekends and everything. And I can tell you, it's so much fun being Josh's friend. It was really fun dating him too. He took me on the weirdest dates. He'd never really tell me where we were going, so it was always like a big adventure going out with him. He picked me up, I think we went to Walmart a couple times. I know, it's bad, right? But we went to Walmart a couple times walking around, and can't remember all the things we did there, but I think one of the most fun was getting into a pillow fight in the pillow section of Walmart and being chased away by one of the employees. And we go swinging at like play sets and just like these weird random things that you would never consider like a date at all. Were what we did when we went out. So that was really fun. And when we ended up stop dating because I found out through a friend of mine that he was also dating 2 other girls at the same time. And so the same day, I had had some time to like think about it. I was kind of upset. But I thought about it, and so when he came over that night, I sat him down and I was like, look, Josh, so told me that you've been dating 2 other girls at the same time, and I was like, look, we never said that we were going to be exclusive, so technically I can't be mad at you, but, you didn't tell me because you knew that it was not, you shouldn't be doing it. That's why you kept it from me and you kept it a secret. I was like, so we're still going to be friends and we're still going to hang out. But, none of this, like, we're not dating, we're just going to be friends because this dating thing is not going to work out while you're dating 2 other girls. And so, it was kind of funny because when we were, like, dating, we'd, like, go out every weekend and, like, kiss goodnight, whatever. And after we had that conversation, we still went out, hung out every weekend. There was just no, like, kiss goodnight. There was nothing different. It wasn't, like, weird. It wasn't awkward. Everything's fine. And so it was, like, since then that I really came to value our friendship a lot.
It's called New Hanover High School. It's named after the county. Josh went here and from the 11th grade and 12th grade, there was less gang violence here, which was why Josh wanted to come here from Laney High School, where he started high school in the 8th and the 9th grade and went to 10th grade. But he graduated from here. He had they have a good drama teacher here, Mrs. Burton, and she encouraged him to keep pursuing his career in acting, and that led Josh to get accepted to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Yeah, like that's originally why he went to New York, because like his drama teacher at high school, which is my drama teacher now, she like really encouraged him, like said like you can do it, you can go to New York and be an actor. So he went to American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and that's where he met Morgan Constance.
Yeah.
And so that's why he originally went up, and then he just fell in love with the whole like MC thing, and it was still like really good. So he was like still up there doing what he wanted to do, and he always like we always would say, you know, you can come back if you want and like work for a little bit and go to like Cape Fear. But he said no. He loved it there so much. Like he wanted to be there so much because he would go like without food just to be up there like doing what he loved to do. And he always would tell me like you can do what you want. Like if you want to be a fashion designer, you can go to FIT. Like you can, if you put your mind to it and your heart to it, you can always you can do it. Because that was him, like live life to the fullest. And like on that memorial thing, that was what he said in the video, and that's always how he was. And I'll I'll keep that forever, with me. So I'm living for him and just remembering what he told me, and that he would want me to go to New York and live my dreams like he did.
He was always a kind of a quiet guy where he never got in the limelight, and he was always introverted pretty much, but when he got on the stage, he became a different person.
Hey guys, want to go to McDonald's? Cool.
Can I change this? Because I never listened to it. I didn't know the words. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, what's in the bag? It could hold trash. I don't know. It could be injected. Object. Hold up. What is it? Let me recollect. Do you see? I don't know. It's Yahtzee. I think it's even more than traveling. Because on the days when we just play, oh, how it's just about the game. No, it's about the wordplay. Hold up. I got something to spray. Better make it on. Hold on. Because I'm crying all night to the lawn. What is it? Could it be pink? The new hot in the camera? No, it doesn't stink, but it will if you put it on the wall. That's what I see when I'm up against it. Yo, thank you to what's his name from the Simpsons. I wish I knew the name of it. I don't know. Oh, I'll go in. What is it?
Definitely he was the guy who would bring out all the people to the shows because he was always out schmoozing. And, when we had 100 copies of Intervention pressed up, and he must have sold at least, 65% of those CDs to people just because he had such great social qualities. He could just go into a room and start talking to anybody. It doesn't matter if you were a millionaire or if you were a bum, he was your friend, and as long as you were cool, he could get cool with you. And, he was just such a fool and a jester and, always joking around. It was people would be like, oh, whoa, this guy's a little too friendly. They'd get kind of weirded out by it, or people would just embrace it. And those who embrace it, were lucky enough to feel the warmth of his energy in the physical form.
I got the show without a fedora. Here we go. I'm dropping these more in the bag. Holding SUV, I gotta lick it. Oh, take it, lick it. Here we go. I'm just spitting the water. Here we go. And never how to drink this. Like a water. No, already, don't bother. Oh, that's what happens. Here we go up into the loud soul. See and sing. And then what's you gotta be down to the MC while I move up. That skit. Here we go down. Let me give a flip while I'm taking the top. Go over the west and then you get a logo on a burrito. No, it's just a chicken. Here we go down on the pole. Yeah, you get your leg in. Yo, get me. Never sinking. Oh, running out of energy, but I keep it clicking. The middle, the finger. Here we go. Sticking from the middle, feeling like a so hot. The red stars bringing it so far to the revolution. Here we go. Down to the.
Okay, hi, my name is Brock Napoli, 27 years old. Very good friends with Leftist, Josh. I got this contract here, one of my favorite Josh moments. It's from this day that me, Andy, and Mikey decided we needed to get really stoned. We didn't have any weed because we're a couple of losers. So we stole Josh's weed, and we smoked it all. And then he found out, and he made us write this contract saying, I, Andy, Mikey, and Brock owe Josh 3 joints worth, or a cube, or a half cube of weed. And we all had to sign it. And we paid him back, and it was a big dilemma. But we got it solved, and everyone was happy. And yeah, that was a good time, stealing Josh's weed. And I miss you, Josh.
Alright?
What we say, oh, and that's how we do it at the show. Whether you shake it, no, I like it bacon. Or put as already degree. If we say you can't see it, lethally. Oh, so casual, here we go with the shot. Fast forward and I'll give it to the passion. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Weary, good friend of Josh's. At first, he comes off, he's like, hey man, I'm Josh, intense, and you're like, holy shit, this guy's got something to say here. And after a while, you're like, is this guy being serious? And you kind of question it, but knowing him for 2 years, I know he was 100% sincere about everything he did. He loved and was the most harmless person I've ever met in my life. Yeah. One of the last times I hung out with Josh, we were wasted. There was me, Andy, friend Travis, Andy's girlfriend. We were all hanging out here. We decided we were going to wear underwear. I had assless underwear with a cooking robe with bloodstains that was a Leatherface costume piece. Andy was just wearing shorts with tube socks. Our friend Travis was wearing my robe and a pair of little extra small American Apparel underwear. Josh came home with 2 friends that he worked with, walked in the door and was just like, oh my god, completely embarrassed that he brought his co-workers home to us being retarded. They loved it. I still talk to them. I met them that night and they thought it was hilarious. I miss you, Josh, man. It sucks. You should be here with us.
And maybe a story or two on the way. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Please, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Mind Spray crew.
He opened up one of our shows once. He came out and Milk Money spun this clavinet kind of track, and he was like, welcome to Mind Spray Theater, and just went on like that. Did this 5-minute intro, just super ridiculous, and I don't know. And, the whole crowd was just laughing because no one really knew what to think. Everyone was expecting us to come out of the hip hop, not stop hip hop, whatever. But I don't know. He always changed it up. Yeah, he was just an awesome dude. One of the most positive people that I've ever met.
Yeah. Once again, history's back to the beginning. People jump for your skin without even sinning. Sooner, not later. Everyone's a discriminator, more realistic like that movie Terminator. Total destruction. Hate is interruption. Now rap is the cap and push. It's a combustion. Honestly, I think they're all fun. Wanna sound like Tom Sawyer. Imagine at the cross the border, you need a lawyer. My tears fall like the calls with Kuwait. You kill civilians and you're having a parade. This isn't lightly taken with identity mistaken. Hearts they broke, they quickly breaking. It's the bombs, the earth shaking. For many generations, this is about human relations. I am leftist and anti-loyalist, and I'm here to make oil prices like life. Cause when you shot that woman, you killed somebody's wife. Yeah, leave it to the propaganda to control the hype. Better yet, listen to me cry. Let the greater side and the bleeding ride on the hides of the lies. And me up to $1.25, cause I'll die to stay alive. Woo! Yeah! Leftist!
Since he passed, just been listening to his lyrics just that much deeper, and I feel like out of everything that can be said for only being 24 years old, he said a lot in the little things that he said, because he was sincere, and his flow was pretty dope and was getting better, and there was just so much energy behind the words that it was contagious, And rocking shows was always really fun because it was always me and Left, who were the really, really high energy guys. And so we kind of flank each side of the stage, So Left is just an inspiration. I feel like he's around, and will be around, and he's looking out for us,
You don't want to be seen to believe all these things that you be heated by the bleeding, deleted, and treated, and deleted for execution. This is my time to consume my breath, except my double step. Hold up and it's that more set. Minutes beginning, life is water through sipping. I know the first reaction is acting for scary, military faces, faces, hates. What?
I remember just for some reason with Josh and with Morgan, when they were living here in the cabin, and I'd be coming home from work, and I'd be in a taxi with a friend or two, and every time we pass this street, I'll be like, stop the cab, I'm getting out, hop out the cab, And they're like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, no, I'll see you guys later, right? And I just like unannounced, I'd ring the doorbell, and they'd be like, yo, what's up, Dan? And they'd buzz me in, and it just always, like, every single time, would be like, come on, guys, let's play some music, let's jam. And in a second, they were, like, just all into it, Josh would bring out his guitar, and Morgan had his flute, and I always played the pots and pans, because there was no real drum here or anything, but, we'd sit down, and we just jam, and just music that was so, like, not, like, they usually do, or whatever, and, like, I'm not, I just recreationally play in my spare time, but I just value those moments so much because they were so spontaneous. And if I'd never jumped out the cab just to go on the whim, like I wouldn't have those memories. So for me now, what Josh continues to teach me to this day is that like you got to go with just what makes you feel alive, what makes you like the good time. And if I'm ever feeling down or bad about something, you know what I mean? And then I think about the memory of Josh, and it really helps me just like put in place what's important, you know what I mean? So that's it. We love you, Josh.
Oh, but Josh with the Ice Cube on his shirt.
I haven't seen that yet. Why don't you show me?
Hey, Count Dracula.
Actually, right now I have dialogue, so pretend you guys aren't getting filmed.
Yo, man. So I'm saying, man. I was up at that spot the other day, and I couldn't even believe my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes you see something so unbelievable. It's like, what am I doing?
He's the coolest kid, never, showed hate towards nobody, loved everyone, And I just like got mad love for the kid. He'll always be with me and everyone else, And love you, man. The illest.
Galaxy, what's happening? They say it's only 2 days. The satellites are right. The end of the world and I'm right. I wish it was a dream. Wake up and nothing's what it seems. Is this something makes sense? It's not. Hey man, how is this isn't really? The people in chilling, these forces of nature take over behavior. I think the remainder of time was spent in the basement. Abusing misery, making space to the limitations. On the right of the local Home Depot. From the nights, constructing the indestructible. Galactic muscle fully capable of planetary. To go down in history is the only to live, the only to live for. Yo.
Lev came to New York and he had goals. He wanted to accomplish things, but they weren't just goals for himself. He had goals for everybody around him. He wanted, if he had succeeded by himself, it wouldn't have been enough. He needed to take his friends with him, and everything he did wasn't just for him, it was for everybody. He was just real, and to know him was to be his friend. You couldn't just walk by him, and he found something in everybody that he could relate to, and whether you were, this hardcore rapper, or like a thoughtful MC, or in a rock band, or not involved with music at all, and just like, whatever kind of person you were, he found something inside of you that he could bond with, and he just pulled that out in you, and it was, that's something magical, and you don't see that every day, and you're blessed if you knew him, because he made you feel better about you.
Am I still alive? Yo! Welcome to the future. Whoa! Where all politics, all problems are solved by the B-boy. I love the rap artist. Yo! It's the cyborg B-boy taking out beast toys sent down from another planet. Yeah! It's the cyborg B-boy taking out beast toys sent down from another planet. It's the cyborg B-boy taking out beast toys sent down from another planet.
I guess my little anecdote would be, we were in the Burger King getting dollar menu stuff, and this cat was handing out flyers for like a barbershop, and I was like, yo man, what's up? I was like, yo, can I get a blowout? And the cat was like, got jokes. So like the rest of the night left was like, got jokes. And I guess that'd be my anecdote, but yeah, Left was a really good person. And I mean, just, in the brief time that I knew him, I will definitely miss him.
Except I double step. Pull up in this enforcer. It's the beginning, right before I will flip it. I know the first reaction is action for scary military bases. Hey, swap, cut and paste. Cigarette buzz, who has a gas, who forgot some longest to a sluts. Critic lyrics like if it's fair. There are thoughts floating on what's going on. Blonde with reflections on the brink of thinking. Hip-hop is sinking down through the depths. A billions in debt. Who stand as mentioned, not to mention my questions. Who's to make biz? Many are manic or panic sounds. It's up and don't slam it, y'all. Don't slam it, y'all.
Hey, yo, Buck Bush.
Hey, we're hanging out.
I guess one memory I could say about Josh is like we decided to hang out one night, right? And we just went crashing parties in here just randomly. Like we just got really fucking high and just next thing you know we were at one party, then we had another, it's just me and him. You know, and like he was like the first person that could really say that I could call him up and be like, hey, you hanging out tonight? And like he'd be the first person I'd call if I'm like really bored on whatever night I had off. And we became pretty close friends, you know. Thank you for showing me how to be happy, basically.
Yeah. We in sync right now.
And Leftis was really like a brother to me, you know, very, very close friend. And just in the few years that we knew each other, we had time to really get to know each other pretty well and spent a lot of time having, you know, good experiences. We played a lot of guitar together, me and him, 2 acoustics up in the apartment, and it was always good times. Always a very positive guy. I think really what he was someone who was on the fast track to learning everything that, you know, the rest of us are kind of muddling our way through. And the same is true for, you know, music as his academic learning. You know, he picked up freestyling in the course of a couple of years so quickly that people really commented on it, you know, and his... you know, his guitar playing is something that I saw him make leaps and bounds in. There's no doubt in my mind that he would have been a world-renowned superstar just within another couple of years. Definitely a guy with talent on the highest level. And it was a pleasure to know him and a pleasure to play music with him and spend time with him. I feel very privileged and blessed to have had that opportunity. If he was here right now, I would tell him thank you very much, you know, and I'm so glad that I told him, dude, you're not going to sleep early tonight. We're hanging out. We're playing guitar. I'm coming over. You don't have a choice. I'm so glad that I did that the times that I did because I don't have any regrets about our friendship.
Sebastian, what's up, man? Come on, man.
I just remember one time he had to work on this. He was very good looking, and he was a bartender or a bar back at this. He didn't exactly go into the details of what he had to do, but it was a weekend where it was this. It's hard to describe what he was talking about, what happened, but he said it was 250 6'2", 6'3" men that were all in love with each other, and hundreds of them in one place, and he was scarred for life. He called it one of the most interesting experiences of his life, and he had to serve them drinks and everything, and afterwards I was just looking at him like, dude, how'd you do this? And he was just like, I'm scarred, man. I'm scarred. There was a 50-foot video screen showing stuff that I'm scarred, man. And I'm like, yeah, I'd be scarred too. Like, that's the kind of cat he was. Like, you knew he wasn't like homophobic or anything, but it was a pretty traumatizing experience when you get down to it, you know. And you know, he always had these great stories that he just rattled them off, and you just sit there like, what? What did you say? How do you? You know.
To the end is it, and we have no fear. It's clear, the future's over there.
I was working for this company, and all of a sudden I remember seeing this kid come up, and he had headphones on. He's just rocking out. He's like mad chill, cool, and you know, I definitely noticed him at first. Like, he was just energy that you can't deny. And then after a while, like a couple gigs or whatnot, I started to get to know him. And one day, he came up to me, or I was talking to him. I was like, oh, I'm like, so what's your deal? And he's like, oh, I'm an MC. I was like, oh, okay. And that was that, like, he didn't say anything else. And, like, I got to know him a few weeks, couple months after that. And, like, never mentioned his MCing again. And, like, being around music my whole life, like, it occurred to me, I'm like, you know what? I think this kid's fucking sick. Because he didn't talk shit. He didn't speak anything. Like, he's the real deal. Here is one of the things. I got this book. I don't know if you can see it on camera. But, like, a friend gave it to me a long while ago, and she told me to, like, start writing in it. I started writing all this shit. So I just started having my friends write stuff in it. And I'm really glad that one day I asked Josh to do something, and he did this, which I guess it's a self-portrait, but I don't know if you can. But it means a lot to me, and I'm really glad I got it. And it's definitely Josh. Sebastian was just pointing out that he's got the infinite eyes, and he's leftist. And I guess that was what, November 29th, 2004. That's one thing that I got to share. Josh, you wore your sister's pants. That's what I freaking love, man. I remember one time you were hanging out nowhere, you were wearing these pants, and they were tight. And they were your sister's pants, man. And only you could rock your sister's pants. You don't know.
Come on, yo. And probably is something easy. Can't be right one of these. Free to leave, always please, eat it. Possibly into leading and screening into leading for execution. This is my task to control my buttons up a double step. Hold up and listen for a sec. Listening in, I the water to sip, and I know the first reaction is not necessary. Military bases, thanks who takes what? Cut and paste. See how much who has the guts of the brothers. Nothing to a stretch. Critics make it into spit. There it goes, far beyond what's going on. All blood with reflections on his own inspections. On the brink of taking hip-hop and slinking. Down to the depths of millions in depth. The plan of fiction, not to mention my questions. We should make business. Video man, go panic town to suffer, don't slam it.
One night, Leftist and I were chilling. We went and got 40s in Manhattan. I forget what we were doing or how we ended up together, but we got 40s and we went to the middle of like this housing project on 14th Street. Not really a project, but like, with all the buildings around, they got the big courtyard in it. And we just went in there and kind of sat in the shadows and drank our 40s and just talked about hip-hop and life and how he met Concept and got into rapping and what he was thinking about with everything. And, I don't know. I just remember how passionate he was. Like he was always very curious about ways to get better and what everyone was doing and how to advance mind spray as a whole. He was like he was the wood that you would toss on the fire in the furnace of mind spray. Like he was always just like pushing harder and coming up with new ideas and just working really hard to push the community, which I really respect, because I think a lot of people in the New York scene just look out for themselves, and when it comes to trying to build something, they weren't into it, and he was always just really welcoming, trying to pull as many people together into it as possible. I miss that. Shit happens, and it sucks that he's gone. And we can try and beat up the police or just like look under every rock and shell and around every bush, but nothing we can do is gonna bring him back. We just gotta remember him and love him. That's what I'm doing.
Mental mind. Yo. A reliable senseless in defense at best. You sequence and cadence. Dancing in commercialism, real separatism. To an alpha infantry, taking back purchase infamy. Face mask of disapproval, but maybe frugal times. Beguiled smiles becoming plummeting ample. Mating fragments to demented escaping. And mainstream raping. Billboards fake change with no sense. Keep civil in this acquittal. For meanings and riddles. It's time.
Okay, so we shot this, shot a video from one of the Mind Spray songs, Burn the Pages, and we had a few different locations. And left this location was we were in the dining room of one of the other guys in the crew, his family's home, euphemism's parents' house. And so the parents are sitting, and the other guys are sitting eating dinner at the table and stuff. And he's rhyming there, which was it was a pretty good. I don't know. I liked the shot. I liked how it looked, the scene or whatever. I don't know. He became the pyrotechnic master of this video shoot, because then there's we were trying to get a fireball to kind of go across the front of the frame, but we couldn't do it, and we have I don't know about 10 takes of him, I don't know, with the alcohol and the lighter or the match or whatever, or a burning piece of paper, and I don't know. It must have took 10 or 12 tries. And of course, we were going for the special effect of just the flame coming out. But of course, you see his face in there off this side blowing the flame. And actually, it was cool. It's very, I don't know, at least to me, and especially now, it's a very endearing moment for me when I think about Josh and stuff. And we had done, there was a whole bunch of stuff that didn't make the video, or we went to Office Side, Broken Dome, or the company they're working for, and I don't know. Just that it was great to work with him, because I had done so much, with the music and the open mics and shows and all this, and it was nice to be able to work with him as an actor too. With me and Broach doing, shooting the video, and having him and Concept doing a little acting. A lot of the stuff didn't make the final cut of the video, but it was a more like an actual scene rather than just rhyming over the beats or whatever. So that was good. That was fun. I'm glad I got to participate in that part of his life as well.
Right.
Take a look at this photo. What you see. You can have it if you want. Money, riches, drugs. Pretty good. That's exactly what I said.
All right, get up and get him. Get up and grab him. All right, cool, man.
I want to share something. At the memorial that we did for Joshy, I wrote a song. That part of it said, "Oh Joshy, keep on smiling. You'll never die. In our heart, you're still alive." And I really think that somewhere he heard that song and he really liked it, because he sure makes me feel how much is in my heart. So I want to say thank you, Joshy, for being you and for showing us what you do.
I'm not sure. She's like, are you sure? It's like, there's no way.
I remember the first time I met him, I was introduced to him as leftist, but after that, he didn't like being called leftist by, well, at least by the ladies. He didn't like it, because he was Josh, and he wanted to make sure that people knew that he wasn't just some character. He was always there to give that strong word to remind you that, it might be rough right now, but you're doing what you need to do, and you're going to get where you need to be soon. And that was the beauty of him. He always was positive.
I'm good now. You know me. Anyway, guys, see how the equilibrium's going.
Josh became kind of like my older brother, and then there was definitely times when he was my younger brother. We both taught each other a lot of shit. We learned from each other. He was someone I would go to and discuss things about state of the world and religion and God, and he would always listen. He would never... A lot of people get pissed and really angry when you try to tell them things that they don't agree with or that they've never heard, especially when it comes to the world and God. And he would never get pissed. He would always accept it and like listen and take it in and like use that information for later rather than like just denying it totally like most people do.
Keep going.
Off the bus and I got back to the crib and I was just like, oh, like drained, and he was the only one there. And I was a little nervous about the whole thing just because I'd never been to that apartment before and what the situation was going to be like. And I met him and he was going to bed, and he was the most charming person I'd ever met, dude. Almost too smooth, you know what I mean? It was just like, I don't trust that guy. Like, there was something about it that it was just like too nice. Something. What is he after? And I learned throughout that week that that's just the way that he was. I mean, I just have so many good memories of him. I've been really mad at him before. One time I got lost in Brooklyn. I was riding up on a bike to Queens, and of course Josh was doing the honorable thing and walking some girl home. He's like, "Is this my and I was like, yeah, I bet you are. Okay, peace." And I was so pissed. And I got on the bike, and he was like, "Do you know where you're going?" I'm like, "Yes!" And I totally did not know where I was going. And I rode off, and I rode into Queens rather than, into Brooklyn. The whole time I'm thinking that I'm riding into Brooklyn, and I'm totally not. And it was probably 4 o'clock in the morning when I ran off like that. And I rode around for a good 2 hours. Finally asked somebody, I was like, Bushwick. They were like, "Oh, this is, you're a long way away, man." And I was like, "Well, this is the only way that I'm going to get back because the L wasn't running." It was a total nightmare. And he got back to the apartment before I did, and my brother was like, "Where's my sister?" And he was just like, "She's not back yet." I mean, we'd text each other at 3 in the morning if I was missing New York, and he'd be like, "Dude, you'll get here when you want to get here. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. And just all positive. Whatever you want to do, you can do what you want to do. You're the only one who's saying no, if that's the case." And I really, really miss him.
What? The true knowledge lies outside of competitiveness or first, second, third. And what really matters is truth, positivity, dude, and collective consciousness. Leftist.
I mean, off the top of my head, if Leftist was standing right here in front of me, and I know I'm always talking like he can hear me because I know he's around. I just want to thank you for everything you've done for me, man. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be with Elaine right now. You know I love her. You know I'm going to keep on loving her. And, Mind Spray, we're doing this music now on such a deeper level because we know that if we stop doing music, that you stop doing music. And, this is really, got my drive going. And you're definitely fuel to the fire, as your uncle said at the funeral. And I'm going to take your energy and I'm going to burn that up, and I'm going to make sure that all my efforts go into keeping your music around and keeping you immortal with your ideology through your music. And you were so creative, such a great energy, and I can't wait to see you on the other side. I know you got my back. I know I have a guardian angel now, and I know you're going to be helping me, and I always feel your presence, and I'm really thankful of that. And I'm just thankful that I was able to know you and get blessed by everything you did on this planet. And I love you. I miss you tremendously, but you know, I'm here, I'm helping your family out, and I can't wait to see you on the other side, man. And I hope to see you soon, but not too soon, alright? Peace, man.
We went on to go the lengths, all the skies turning red. Never got a chance to think what we wanted to say. Here I am again with you by my side. Come on, let's go for one more ride. We went on to go the lengths, all the skies turning red. Never got a chance to think what we wanted to say. Here I am again with you by my side. Come on, let's go for one more ride. She grows and grows and grows and grows from the drink of tough love, throws it all back up when she's had enough. But it used to be we needed to see to believe. Walking around twilight like wide-eyed, homesick children, talking about fireflies from Bed-Stuy to Bushwick, Brooklyn, burning so bright that we're gone so quickly. Before my eyes, night became dawn and time hits me so quickly.
Since we only got a few minutes left, is there any last things you want to get off your chest, get out to us, or any last words from Josh? I mean, leftist.
Yeah, I mean, basically, always try to have fun. Just have fun. If you're not having fun, if you're not happy, nobody's happy. It's dude, if you really want to do it, you're gonna do it. It's like, you know, it's not as hard as people think it is. Everybody has, that's the thing, the record labels, all these people want you to think it's harder than it is, because they don't want you to succeed. And they don't want you to make it. Nobody, the people with money, the people with all this shit, they don't want you to sell. They want to have control over you. They want you to do it yourself. So, just, if you really want to do it, and it'll happen, man. Put your heart in there. Be honest. You just have to be honest with your work. If you're not honest, then everybody will know.
That's what's up.
That's it.
You by my side. Come on, let's go for one more ride. We went on to go the lengths, all the skies turning red. Never got a chance to think what we wanted to say. Here I am again with you by my side. Come on, let's go for one more ride.
And retain the confidence and respect of other nations.
Set sail for Western Vale, stumbled upon humble beings, yet being my seen eyes, there was trouble, bubbles burst deep in the church, the civilized hurt, we must kill the whole network. My air now rotten, easy to remember when all is forgotten, to the little there and here, cause a bit of fear will scare and clear the reason of who ain't dead, or you better believe it. Like nature believing, heaven kill these heathens, I can still hear the weeping and screaming. Sorry for sorrow, I'm on board cargo with a heartbeat now, from a nation of power and kenneled as a weak. Well, they even working for free, nah, I ain't kidding either. When it was civil, they ran with a freedom fighter Yankee. Thankfully, after I was intact, now they work with loan contracts. So pay up, couldn't, so they gave up. The land at least was leased police to decrease unity. Wait, there was race hate. It was easy. Put the poor in corners, born into rebellion. Eating the flesh and not my skeleton. Who won? Doesn't matter. America had begun. Classes crippled and hung. I mean, how do you overthrow when all they know is how to grow for their harvest?
Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm Josh's sister. And I just want to say, like, it's a year today, and it really doesn't feel like it, but, like, I just can't believe that it's a year. But, I just want to say, like, thank you guys so much for just being here for us, and, it really means a lot. And guys, I know it's hard and everyone is going through this, but I really feel like I try to be more happy in remembering him than more like sad and depressed every day, because he wouldn't want that. If he was here and I was like that, he would say, just cheer up, it's okay, just live for today, and you know, everything's gonna work out, everything's gonna be okay, you know? He just give you that smile and say, it's gonna be alright, it's gonna be okay, just follow your dreams and do what you want, and, you know, just live each day. You have to live it like it's your last, because you never know, and you can't be depressed all the time. You just have to be happy, and I know how hard that is, because it's been really hard, but I think it's really, like, made me change a lot and think about my life and how I was living, and it's just really made me think to just honor him every day. Shine that light that he shined, and, you know, just let it shine, and just, I don't know, you have to look up. And you have to look up, because you know he's there watching down. Don't stop living. Just keep on. Keep on for him.
In closing, I'd just like to say that I appreciate everybody the way you love Josh. It blows me away how talented this kid is. And, you know, I hope that he thought about his parents as he was coming up, and I'm proud of him. He has a presence still in our lives that is just incomparable to anything I could have ever done or anything I could ever do. He put it all together and made his dreams come true. He was just happy to make people happy. And he's an amazing guy. Just thank you all for loving Josh and being there for him and taking care of him. And I love him, and I'm proud of him.
All I can say and wrap up in a few words is that he is my shining star. He shines his light on all of us. And he's so precious to me. I miss Josh so very much. But my crazy, crazy Josh. I love you.